few exists. Yeah, sorry about that whole enormous gap for ages thing. I was feeling a little bit burned out. But come on, I'm too legit to quit. It's review number 100, by the way, and my first proper review of a toy from the Cybertron line. And as long as we're not counting all those repaints, we're starting at the very top with Cybertron itself. People, let's Planetformer. Get a load of this plastic space volleyball. So this is the planet of Cybertron, looking exactly as it should look. All smooth and grey-blue and covered in spiky towers and vast crevices. Plus it's a sphere, so you can just hold it a different way up and get a fresh perspective on it. And just occasionally it looks like some kind of special needs Pokemon. Obviously I'm going to have to compare it to Unicron, because how many Planetformers are there? I mean, I don't see a Voyager-class Moonbase 2 around here, and I'm not doing Star Wars. So in comparison, Unicron's a bit bigger and a lot dafter. But Cybertron does a much better job of being a sphere. Plus it's got these little feet going on so you can do something with it without having to pick it up. I know. Yeah, thanks. I know! The thing about Cybertron, right, is that it must literally be the smallest planet you've ever seen. Every time it shows up you can see buildings on it, in detail. From space. Are you serious? It's much the same deal on the toy. I mean, you've got the great Autobot city of Iacon, represented by about 6 buildings. Dozens of these big black towers, which, if this was the size of Earth, they'd be at least as big as Scandinavia each. And the baddie stronghold Colcular, like some kind of infected mushroom volcano. This is probably the best solid manifestation of Cybertron we're ever going to get. And remember, it's a toy, not a globe. Really though, Cybertron is just as bloody insane a toy as Unicron. It's just not so overt about it. I mean, Unicron's all gnashing gobs and horn gropers and see-through kibble, but Primus... oh man. First off, you can power links if you must, but I honestly can't think of a single scenario where that would work. Or you can jam in either of these majestic MacGuffins, the kingliest of planet keys. Blammo! Shablams! Blammo! Or this daft Tesla weapon-looking contraption, the Omega Lock. So apparently we're unlocking this with a lock. Whatever. Holy cack! It's a battle mode on a planet! That's awesome! That's literally a third of Cybertron's mass dedicating itself to firing bullets! Jesus! You must have done something wrong when an entire planet wants to physically shoot you. You know, at first I thought the transformation was a bit bloody full of itself, actually. It insists on using this daft neon sponge drill like 4 times. But Jesus, it's so good. Cities rise, continents rend themselves asunder, the head reveal to end all head reveals. Entire chunks of planet wobble around a bit. It's fantastic. It's ostentatious, it's an experience. So we'll let the Omega Lock off for its daftness and audacity on account of its yesness. Folks, I want you to say hi to the chunky blue colossus that is Primus. I don't want to get too bogged down in the hodgepodge of mythology surrounding this guy, so condensed version, he's basically the god of robots, born alongside his arch-nemesis Unicron in the distant distances of ancient distant past space. Because everything in the Transformers universe automatically has to have been happening for millions of years. So Primus and Unicron are basically God and Satan. Order and chaos, creation and destruction, Smash and Beans, Alad Jones and Deicide, you know the drill. Also, they're brothers! Dun dun dun! So Primus has shown up here and there in one form or another, either as like an elder god, or like through a living effigy, or a giant underground face, and maybe once in the flesh. He's only ever had 2 toys as well, a Spangly Roddy Prime repaint, Godimus Prime, and the one that actually is what it says it is, that is, this one. My friends, godlike isn't even the word. Well, it is, really. It's the only word. So impressive. Just look at the size of it. I can't even... Not as big as Unicron, granted, but it's more exciting if the bad guy's bigger and scarier. This fella's just awe-inspiring. Check out the head for starters. It's hefty and steadfast and stoic, and the intense details give him unknowable age and or wisdom. Same on his torso too. There's levels to it and layers. He must be unfathomably vast. His arms are godtacular too, but it looks like he's not much for flexing with these puny uppers. It's seriously like shoulder, elbow, but that means ratcheting all round. Can I click it? Check out his spindly, elongated old man fingers. They're like thin and eerily long, but they don't look frail. You can pretty much do anything with these things, but I'm predictable. Gotta love a god that packs heat. Check out these forearm mounted Enormo turrets, which again you can power links on, but please don't. But yes, love the Humongo cannons, and equally the shoulder mounted Brute Zukas. Anyways, these righteous genocide cannons are attached to these hefty shoulder-mounted semicircles, which are pretty brazen, but I can't really call them kibble. They're given this epic rounded spiky silhouette that's like constantly announcing how awesome he is. But just look at that bubble butt. That is kibble on a grand scale. What are you going to do with all that junk? Get a load of his big roundy legs, a couple of cities wedged in there, and these ones at the front even stand up to approximate a bunch of guns like some insane skyscraper target masters. Tragically, the feet are pretty damn awful. They're just like a silly curvy platform with a massive toenail to balance on. I like how they worked in Colcula on his heel there like it's something he stepped in or something that grew. Ugh, dude, you got a Colcula. Stay out of my bathroom. So yeah, the feet are a real letdown. But consider this. He's a planet. What's he gonna stand on? And that's just about your lot with Primus, actually. He's a beautiful thing. He's a planetformer of the planet of the Transformers, no less, that transforms wonderfully in a sexplosion of awesome into this fabulous big blue babe of a bot. He's mighty, dignified, classy enough not to be bogged down with gimmicks, but to still blow you away at every turn. Spectacular. And there's not a lot more to say other than a massive shout out from my man Tom, Nediablo, and 100th high fives to absolutely everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Can I get a hell yeah? Transform,